Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you how to set up a terrarium for pet baby carrots. You see they come in from the store in a plastic bag like this. This is pretty normal. Though they're okay to be in here for a while, you really need to get them set up in a nice terrarium sooner rather than later. First you're going to need a Tupperware, or you can get one of those plastic tanks, but I really like Tupperwares because they, work pretty well. And you want to fill it with some substrate. What I have here is just some shredded paper. I think shredded paper works best. It's very easy to clean, and it seems to suit well. They have some burrowing habits that they enjoy to burrow in the shredded paper. Before you get them in there, you want to set up some food. So make a little space for a food bowl, which I have here. It's a little shot glass I got at the thrift store, and I just filled it with some ground coffee, which is really their preferred food source. Just put it in the corner here, make sure it's supported by the substrate. In terms of kinds of coffee, just cheap bargain brand is usually fine. Sometimes as a treat I get from Starbucks, but usually they like the cheap kind just as well as other stuff. Then you want to set up some, this is a really cheap way to make a good space for your carrots. Just a toilet paper roll in the tank will allow them to hide during the day, because they really like darker areas a lot of the time, especially during the summer. Other thing you need to make sure you supply is some yarn. Baby carrots, when they're reaching their later stages of development, need to create cocoons to reach the next instar. Well, as most domesticated bred in captivity carrots don't actually have the ability to create a cocoon, it still makes them much happier to have something available to make a cocoon out of if they did have the ability to. And this one is a little bit shorter for the runt. You see the little runt there? This guy. He's a little tiny one, so he doesn't need as big a string, because a larger string might intimidate him and actually create him more anxious than not having any string at all. See your carrots beginning to spin a successful cocoon, you need to get them genetically tested to make sure they're not wild carrots, because then they will grow into a larger size. And you need to be prepared if that will happen to getting a bigger enclosure, because they will get up to 3 sizes bigger than this. But if you get the captivity bred ones, they will basically stay this size. Here, oh, another important thing is you'll need a sturdy top to seal it, because they will during the night want to escape. So it's important to have a tight fitting lid. And also, to prevent them from climbing, I recommend putting a warning sign. This warning sign is warning the carrots that there is a bunny outside of the enclosure and that they should stay inside for their own safety. This usually works pretty well. Some people do other signs. Some people like putting text on there, but my personal belief is that carrots really can't read, so I wouldn't put that on there anyways. But that's later. Why don't we get our little buggers into here? So they're kind of dormant at this time of day, and they're very docile, so they're very easy to handle, but you still want to be careful that you don't injure them. Just kind of put your fingers underneath and just scoop them out. There we go. You can kind of cut them a little bit when you're moving your hand. Look at that. It's real. These guys are so cool. You can just give them a nice little rub down the side, and they're very happy. You might see some have little cracks like this, but that's fine. That's just a sign of their growth patterns. It's more concerning if it gets infected, so keep an eye out if you get a new one that has that. Just carefully set them in the substrate. Okay, number 2. And you see these guys are really beautiful orange color, which is a sign of very, very healthy carrots. There's some exotic kinds that are purple that I've heard of, but I haven't really seen many of them available. Get this guy in. There we go. This guy's really cool. Beautiful blue guy. Okay, it's gonna go right here. And if you do indeed have actual bred in captivity baby carrots, you won't have to worry about them breeding. which is a big problem with wild varieties, that they will overpopulate quite quickly. So look at the little runt. Look at him. It's like a little Cheeto. Oh. These creatures are really docile. I'm gonna just put him in here because he has a little bit more protection from the other one, so maybe not that close to the other guy. But if you're feeding them properly, they won't do any sort of cannibalistic behavior, and then you can just throw this away. I sometimes keep it for a little bit just in case I need to move them again, because they do have their scent pheromones in this bag. If they've spent any time in there, that would make it more comfortable for moving it around, but it does go away after, you know, a month or so, so it's not worth keeping after that. You're also going to need to have a water spray thing on hand, and you want to spray them at least 2 times a day. I'd spray them right now, but I already sprayed them, and you don't want to keep them too moist. Any signs of sickness there's kind of, sometimes they'll get like a kind of slippery film on them, and that's a sign that you need to, you know, give them a nice dust bath, and maybe even take them to the vet if it persists for a long time. But usually these guys are really easy pets to take care of. They really are just kind of cool to just watch, and they don't usually need much help. So all you need to do is put the lid on, especially during the day. They don't really like too much sunlight. A little bit of sunlight's good. You can just see them in there. I don't know if you can see it. It's very cool. And that's how you set up some baby carrots. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll get to as many as I can, because I have raised quite a few colonies of these, and they're kind of my favorite pet to take care of, so I'd be happy to help anyone start caring for and you know, having these beautiful creatures as pets. So see you guys later. Thanks for watching. You gotta watch the runs. So peaceful.